Okay, here it is, last of the V8s. Well, not quite. Getting there though. It's my 2013 Model 76. It's done 110,000 Ks now. Just a quick vid on all the different shit that I've done to it over the years. That's Department of the Interior's center console with the ARB, with the airbag controls and pressure indicator there for the airbags, rear airbags. It's Kmart rear bar. You got to mortgage your house to buy one of those bloody things, but yeah, good strong bar. From there, there's nothing else to see. It's got a 50 amp Anderson at the plug at the back, solid steel 50mm rear wheel spacers, Safari snorkel. They're all the valves to operate the rear airbag system that I've custom built. So there's another couple of photos of that. That's the control panel, wired up. They're the valves. You've got two up, one on each side, and the one in the middle is cross feed for off-road to allow it to walk better in the back. And yeah, that's the manifolds. It's all wired up, and that's where it just sits down in the rear quarter panel down there on the right hand side. It's a pretty tight fit, but it works. I've put a bit of stuff to stop it chafing on the panel in there, but it is a tight fit. That's my separate fuse distribution box for all the accessories, and also the ARB compressor. You can see the line teed off there that goes down to the back. There's the controls. I've got some switches made up, custom made up. They were pretty cheap. The rocker switches to go up, down, cross feed, and airbag system on and off, and that's the pressure gauge. Roof console with USB ports in the back. And the LED lights in that, of course, and it's now got Recaro seats in it. Get rid of those horrible Landcruiser seats. They're good for about 3 hours. After that, you're well and truly sick of them. So it's any sort of seat's a good seat above them. Apart from the factory one, that's where all the plumbing goes in for the rear quarter panel for the airbags. That's worthwhile having. Return to center steering damper. Tracks much better on the highway. You can see a radiator bash plate, front mounted toe points, deluxe ARB bar, and Rigid Industries combined spot floodlight. That's my final filter. That's 2 micron. Wasting your time doing anything else. Get a final filter 2 micron if you want your injectors to last. That's a catch can, run out of real estate. It's mounted just down over under the top of the chassis there. You can just see the bottom of the fuel filter bowl there on the in the picture. And that catch can vents overboard too. It doesn't go back into the intake. Screw that. BP51 shocks front and rear. They fully adjustable for compound and compression and rebound. Get your shit together. That's my attempt at putting the turbo blanket on. It fits 2/3 of the way around, so it stops a bit of the heat getting on the firewall. That's the breather kit for the front rear diffs and the gearbox, and also the diff lock actuators. Second battery, waterproof circuit breaker isolating that, and I can manually override that in the cab to switch it on as well. That's 2.5-inch crossover pipe with the thermal wrap. Good for keeping the heat down. Good mod to do. Recaro seats again. Need to mortgage your house to buy those bloody things. But yeah, really good, really nice seat. Driving lights, that's just for the LED light bar, ARB compressor on and off, and it's an external roof light override, red arc brake control. depot racing EGT gauge at the bottom there, and the auxiliary battery override, so I can parallel the batteries if the red arc controller doesn't like the idea. VMS touchscreen, moving maps, all that sort of business, and Alpine speakers front and rear. These things are so cheap they don't even have a mirror on the bloody visor. That's how basic these vehicles are. So there you go. That's got batteries in it and the lights come on. 3-inch alumized steel Bow Desert exhaust. 2-inch spring lift, and you can see the airbags in the back there. EGT probes leaking a bit, so what you can see the turbo blanket in there. Shot of the LED, got a bit of surface rust on those bolts there. Combined spot flood, that's all you need. It lights it up like daylight. Worn with the wireless remote, which is pretty handy actually. 9.5, which is only a little one, does the job. That's what snatch blocks are for. Delios rotors, I'm going to replace them with Bendix. Not happy with the Delios, they disappear too quickly. I mean, I've got ultimate pads in it, but shit, they just wear out too quick. Put a bonnet light in there, so I'm going to go over to Bendix discs and pads, the slotted Bendix pads on the next set. They chew through brakes. There's the LED lights for the under the bonnet, so it's got bonnet lighting. How flash is that? Yeah. What's next? There's a diode in there for the alternator mod to jack the voltage up, so it charges up at between 14 and 15 now instead of 13 to 13.8 sort of thing. Yeah, there's a shot of the rear shocks and the airbags. I think we've already seen that. Return to centre steering damper. Makes it track heaps better on the highway. It's good, that thing. The factory steering damper's bloody woeful. Okay, so that's about it. Yeah, it's got a 1300 Newton meter clutch on it as well, and it's also had EGR delete, and it's been ECU tuned and dyno tuned as well, and it's driven pretty heavily too. It's pretty heavily fueled. It smokes a bit, but the boost is right up there. It's mapped at 21 psi. Puts out about 220 horsepower at the rear wheels. It's got plenty of power and torque. You don't need any more than that. And that's about it. I'd probably put a better intercooler on it if I was going to do anything more to it, but it's pretty much done deal now.